Are you like me, on the cusp of your retirement? Can you see the light at the end of the tunnel? Today I'm thinking about some common questions that are supposed to help us when we try to visualize what our retirement life might be like. It makes my job fun sometimes, just thinking of all the last milestones that I get to go through before I'm actually finally done working. But almost every time I tell someone I'm going to retire, they say, "Nice, what are you going to do?" And I think in my inside voice, not work, that's what I'm going to do. Which makes me think of that well-known phrase or warning, retirement isn't about what you're retiring from, but what you're retiring into. Hi, I'm Susan. Welcome to the channel where we discuss embracing life in our 60s and appreciating the choices and changes that are yet to come, even at this stage in our life. Before we get into that, I'll give you a quick summary of what I'm retiring from. When I graduated from college in the 1980s, the 1980s, I was working at a major retail store here in Canada in the computer department as data entry. I've been a cashier there for my college years as a part-time cashier, and now I was doing data entry. This was a $7 an hour job at the time, which was not actually too bad. Anyways, it wasn't what I graduated from college from, but it was the job that I had, and I thought I would see where it led me, see what possibilities might be in store for me. Could it sound any more mundane? Data entry for inventory items at a large store, keying in inventory adjustments, receipts, sales, anything to do with the change in inventory. Oh my gosh, yeah, that sounds like mind-numbing. But actually, I did the job with my very best friend at the time, and oh my gosh, we laughed and laughed. We just had a grand old time. Makes me think about when pre-marriage and pre-kids, when life was easier, less complicated. I actually went to college for television production. It seems so ironic to me now that here at almost the very end of my career, I'm doing content creation and video producing and editing. It just seems so crazy to me now. It's just another way of saying we never know what life has in store for us. That data entry job led to computer operations, which led to network computer operations, which led to IT troubleshooting and technical support. And that's what I've done for almost 40 years. And the job that I have now is the best job that I've ever had. I work for our school board. I help teachers and education staff and students with their technology. So with their laptops and tablets and classroom desktop computers and projectors and audio equipment. And so I get to go around to the various schools that I support. I get to see different people every day and learn different things every day. It's really a peach of a job, and I'm grateful for it, actually, and very blessed to have it. I get to use my brain, I get to be the hero, and I get to be around ever-changing technology all day long. But, and it's a big but, it can be a frustrating, mind-numbing, soul-sucking, joy-killing job. People don't call me up to say, "Hey, Susan, how are you? Everything's working great. Have a nice day." They call me up and say, my whatever is not working. I need you here now. And what did you do to break it? Yes, I get to be the hero for a few minutes, but for most of the time, I'm trying to solve other people's problems. and it can be very, very challenging. And some days I feel that it turns me into a hardened, impatient biatch, when I really like to think of myself as a sweet, kind, pleasant person. So that's what I'm retiring from. But what am I going to be retiring into? That's the million-dollar question. Well, in my case, not $1 million, but that is the big looming question. How am I possibly going to plan what my retirement is going to look like? Some days I can't even decide what I want for lunch. Honestly, if a friend texts me and says, let's meet up for lunch, I always just say, just let me know where and when, and I'll meet you there. Decisions, too many, sometimes hurts my brain. Deciding what my retirement is going to look like, where my money is going to come from, how I'm going to spend it, just how am I going to be and how am I going to feel? Well, those are so many questions, and it really can lead to analysis paralysis. But I guess we've got to start somewhere. Of course, money is a huge factor. We can't retire without it. But once we get that sorted out, then we do have to think about all of the other things that retirement life entails. Family, friends, fun, health, community, contribution, learning. All of these things are what retirement is actually about, not just money. Here are a few questions that can help you think about what your retirement might look like. But for me, they only lead to more questions, but we'll get started anyways. What makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning? Well, for me, if it's not still dark outside, that's pretty exciting. If I haven't been jarred awake mid-dream by a loud alarm, that's pretty great as well. What makes me excited is if I don't have to work all day, that's pretty exciting. Or if I can have a nap that day, that would be great. So yeah, you can see I've set my standards pretty low. How would you like to be remembered? Well, gee, that's a sobering thought. I'm just starting to plan out my retirement, not really looking at end of life. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. What would you do if there were no financial constraints or time limitations? That's a really good question, because for most of us, that's how we've lived our life, through money and time restrictions and constraints. So that really can open up a real can of worms when we start to think about that. Which leads to the next question, how much money do you need for retirement? Well, depending on your search results, anywhere from $250,000 to $2 million is the general answer. That's a pretty wide range. Do you own your own home? Do you rent? Do you have any dependents? I do still have a dependent. He is an asthmatic, diabetic, 5-year-old cat, and he costs me roughly $300 a month. And he's not really old, so he may be around for a while. So definitely something I have to consider. But of course, all the other factors too, where you live, if you want to travel, or if you just want to sit home and watch movies, the amount of money you're going to need it's a huge, huge question, which has many, many different factors. The only real consensus is that, of course, you need money. The rest is left up to us to try to figure out how much exactly that is. So once the money part is sorted out, then we start to think about what would my retirement life look like. And I think one of the easier ways to approach that is to think of what you don't want it to look like. So what don't I want to be doing in retirement? Asking ourselves these questions might help. What situations or experiences drain my energy? Well, that's an easy one. Tech support. What have I done in the past that I don't want to repeat? Another easy one, tech support. In what situation do I feel stressed, constrained, uninspired? I think we all know the answer to that. Okay, so that's clear. We're making progress. Very interesting fact I've been reading about over and over is that we shouldn't look at retirement as a permanent vacation. That's in fact not what's best for our well-being and for our mental health. Yes, you can spend your time doing the things you love with the people that you love while it's not dark outside, but you need to have a purpose and a significance to make you feel a value, a sense of contribution. It can't be all about me. So, experts agree. Figure out what you've been successful with and what you do well, and look for the sweet spot or the connection between those two. Perhaps that is something that you can work with in contributing back to society and giving yourself that sense of purpose. Okay, with that in mind, what have I been successful with in the past? Tech support. What was I doing when I felt that I made a difference? Tech support. And what have I done well with in the past? Tech support. Oh geez, Houston, we have a problem. Oh boy, okay. Maybe I don't need to retire from tech support. Maybe I just need a 6-month vacation from it. And maybe if I could just do it 10 or 12 hours a week instead of 35, maybe that might be an option. Something to think about. Not deciding that today, but keeping my options open. What I do know is this: I want to be healthy and active. I want to have a sense of connectedness and enthusiasm and joy for life. I don't want to feel obsolete or invisible or a burden to anyone or to society. I think we can agree that that's what all of us want: a sense of purpose and significance, and to feel well and valued. Now I just have to figure out how to get there from here. Please leave me some comments and let me know how you figured out what you'd like to do for your retirement. Maybe the questions that you asked yourself, the things that helped you decide what you wanted to do and how you wanted to do it. I'd love to hear from you. It'd be such a help. Thanks for joining me today. I'm so glad that you did. Please like and subscribe if you could. That would really help me to grow my channel. And maybe it's the something that I'll be doing in my retirement. Take care, stay positive while we wait and see all the possibilities that await us.